Greetings again, Nintendo fans. This is Nintendo Fan 4000, and this is the penultimate special episode of the Dark Matter Trilogy. We're going to be dealing with the mini-games. Yes, each of the games in the trilogy has some form of a mini-game. Since Dreamland 2 is a single-player experience, the mini-games aren't suited for multiplayer at all. They're just little extras. So if you go into a boss area after you defeat a boss, you get what is known as a bonus chance. The bosses would, in a friendly manner, dart out point stars and, well, in Wispy Wood's case, the little apples. Now, if you take damage, it's game over. You don't get to complete said bonus chance, as you'll see there. I pause in frustration. Yes, this is post-commentary. But yes, the bonus chance that we're actually going for is an extra life. So we have to collect, if I remember correctly, 20 point stars. So yeah, you just have to be very careful. Now obviously Wispy Woods is the easiest one, and I say that with full-on shame, given the fact that I just lost. But yeah. So it's just a little bit of a distraction, just to net you an extra life, if you feel so inclined. I could have easily done this during the original run. I could have gone in here and tried for the chance afterwards, but I kind of forgot. Now this of course goes towards your 100% completion, so that is of course why I'm doing it. I'm trying to get 100% in all of the files for the entire trilogy. So we got a perfect, which is my goal, and I got a 1-up. So that's it for the Wispy Woods one. Now we're off to Big Forest. You're going to be facing off in a bonus chance with Nuff and Nelly. Cursor-chan makes a cameo appearance, as you can see. He doesn't seem to be able to stay away. But yes, same rules apply. Try to get all of the point stars without getting hit. I go around like a madman. Trying my best to make sure, and it's really, it's very, very taxing on the eyes. But with enough coordination, I am successful, and I got my perfect. Next up, we're going to be heading towards the Ripple Field. Now, we're not going to be directly facing off with Sweet Stuff. We're just going to be going through the area where we faced him and trying to pick up point stars while avoiding Gordos. No, I think we probably didn't actually meet up with him because, well, I don't know. Just speculation on my part, but now that I think about it, maybe it was easier to devise getting the point stars in this way without him being involved, because it wouldn't be the only time this happens, as you'll see a little later. We got our perfect, and we're out of there. Next up, we head into the iceberg. Head in the door. And no ice dragon, so we're in the same arena where we faced him, but we have to avoid icicles, large icicles. It wouldn't be too hard. Shouldn't be too hard. Dodge, we dodge, we dodge. Now, while doing these bonus chances, it is very ironic that you wind up collecting enough point stars to get 1-ups while going for the 1-up bonus. So this is potentially a good way to rack up lives. Ooh, I forgot to mention, if you fail, there was a time skip. If you fail, like I did with the Wispy Woods one, you have to complete a level, a normal level, to get the chance to do, for example, the Wispy Woods one all over again. So yeah, there is that. So no, you can't be just stacking up extra lives using these means willy-nilly. So now we're heading into the Red Canyon. A little bit of a hesitation from me there. And yes, we are actually squaring off with Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. So we dodge their attacks, while Mr. Bright sometimes sends down either rays that damage you or point stars. It's a good thing they bounce more than once, or else they would have missed out on that one. You gotta be very careful. You have to keep in mind that you have to be dodging both of them, but you can't stay too far away from Mr. Bright, lest he release a point star and you miss out on it. Grab these two in a row, and it's over. Perfect. And we're out of there. Next up, Cloudy Park. And we face off in a bonus chance with only Crackle. No Crackle Jr. I almost put myself in a bad position. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I think that if you are in that spawning spot and a Crackle comes out, you get damaged. Don't quote me on that. So I have to stay away, but I have to stay within range of these stars because they go right away back down once they descend. You get no bounces, no second chances. So you have to be careful, but yeah. But we got our perfect. And that's it, because there is no bonus chance in the Dark Castle. However, I don't have 100% yet, as I would realize while recording this. We actually need to find a female GUI. Yes. Every 1 in 8 times, if I remember correctly, a female GUI will appear if you already have the animal ready that's going to come out of the bag. Anyhow, so I'm going in here. The game expects me to pick up Coo from here, but I already have Coo. So GUI will appear. But every few times there'll be a female one instead. And I'm getting frustrated, keep on doing this over and over and over again, waiting for this female GUI to appear. It gets so frustrating that I assume it's going to be the male GUI when it actually is the female one. So I just stew on that, on the fact that I didn't actually get to show her off properly to you guys, and I realized that I have to keep going all over again to show her off properly. So here we go. But as luck would have it, it is indeed the female GUI this time. Now, instead of a female GUI, it would actually be Chow from Famicom Fairy Tales Yuyuki that would appear in the Japanese version. So I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, now we have 100%. So that's it for Kirby's Dream Land 2. But we're not quite done with that yet. However, we move on to the mini-games from Kirby's Dream Land 3. Super NES MG5. The puzzles that appeared throughout the game all appear all in a row. You have to complete all of them perfectly in order for this to count towards 100% completion. So first off, I do not know the names of Mr. Pitcher. I do not know the names of all of these people by heart, so my future self is going to be helping me out. I only realized this now that I've started recording, and I'm not starting over. So yes, Mr. Pitcher. We've been through this before. He throws a Gordo, it goes through the walls quickly. We have to keep an eye on it and let him know what was the kind of Gordo that showed up. Easy enough, perfect for the first one. Then, Ellie Eel. See, I remember the first two, at least. This is a train your eyes exercise, as those who watch the series would remember. So we need to keep up with him and point out which jar he is hiding in after all of the shenanigans. He's the one in the middle. I'm doing this post-commentary and I'm looking away just making sure that all of my recording levels are the same, and I am, well, at least for the first two, still able to find him without paying perfect attention. So yeah. Now for this one, there's going to be a small disturbance, and these Gordo are going to turn and face the camera. You have to count the ones with the particular face, and there we go. There were 7 of them. Now, doing all of these mini games all at once, and no, I do not remember the name of this guy, so my future self will be putting up. Doing all of these in a row and having to succeed at all of them is no easy task. Indeed. But I am persistent. There are 3 of those. And, sure enough, we're out of there. Can't remember the name of this guy either. But we have to count the colored Gordos of a particular type. There we go. Indeed, there were 4. I wonder if those at home are able to keep up with these without pausing. I wonder if those at home are able to actually pick on all of them. This one is particularly fast all the time, but I persevere. I get through. There are 7 yellow Gordo. Easy enough. That was the 4th one. The 5th one is my least favorite. Like I said in the actual series, it is horribly designed. If I'm listening for sounds, what I'm listening for should come first, not the hodgepodge that I have to select from. But, once again, I persevere. Two out of 3. I lucked out completely. The one we wanted was the last one, so it was easy to select. Quite lucky. And there we go. There's the scorecard. And it's a perfect score. Look at Kirby looking all proud. Next minigame in Kirby's Dream Land 3 is the jumping minigame. Based off of the goal game in the actual game, the level end screen. We have to jump on a smiley face 10 times in a row for it to count towards 100% completion. This is no easy task because it gets harder and harder as it goes along, as with most video games. But for this, it gets annoyingly so. That's my first failure. My score was 5. These next ones were 2, 2, 4, 3, 1, 6, 0, 5. I'm not getting anywhere near 10. And that's just a snippet of my failures. I skipped all the way to my successful run. That is only a snippet of my failures. Did you take note of the fact that there was even a 0 there? Frustration was setting in. But yes, this is indeed my successful run. This is no easy minigame. It is easily the most frustrating part of getting 100% in this game. Easily. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that too quickly. Maybe it is actually having to go through the sound minigame twice in a run. One in the main game, one in MG5. But let me know in the comments, which one do you think is harder? Getting through the jumping game or having to do the sound game twice? Let me know. Yes. Here's where I get a little antsy. Only 2 targets. There we go. 1 target. Now it is one that I know how to get to on a whim, so it's not going to be that difficult, but it's still going to be a little mind-numbing, a little bit intimidating to go after it. But once again, another single target. And failure. However, I got to 10. I'm out. Next up is the mini games of Kirby 64. Now, since the Nintendo 64 was built for multiplayer, 4-player multiplayer, all of the mini games here are able to be played with multiplayer. So they have that in mind. So for this one, well, you read the name of the minigame when we were on the selection screen, right? I can't quite remember it now. This version of me can't quite remember. Go ahead, future self. But yes, the point of this game is when you press A, you do a jump over 2 spots. You press B, you jump over 1. So you have to keep that in mind and avoid hazards. Because obviously the hazards are going to be slowing you down a lot. These little puddles. I don't do too well here on the easy run, but I don't have to because the AI in easy is pathetically easy. But yeah. Look at this Waddle-Dee. Look. This is the level of I don't want to say stupidity, but this is what we're dealing with. Yeah, we were fine with the mistakes we made. We were absolutely fine with the mistakes we made. 100-yard hop. Yes, that's what it is. Good. Next up, we go into normal mode. And my aim is, of course, to do better each time because obviously these get exponentially harder. You remember the intense difficulty in Super Smash Bros. Brawl? For me, that was the first time I outright saw intense as a difficulty word. Obviously I played this game beforehand, but I didn't know there was an intense option there. So remember what the intense difficulty was in Brawl? Think about that when coming into the intense form of these mini games. It'll give you a gauge on how hard these things get. So yeah. Still, the person in fourth is not that intimidating at all. Made a little less mistakes coming down, but still last by a lot. In any case, we're heading into hard. We have more obstacle types. No mistakes from me yet. Emphasis on yet. You can see that I'm trying to be a bit more focused here. And there's my first mistake. But that's actually a very good run. It's pretty guaranteed I'm going to win this one. Yeah, wait for the frog to move. Only one mistake. Brilliant run by me. King DDD's having trouble, but I can see that he's in the lead because you can tell by the slight inkling that he has, that the game gives him in comparison to Yellow Kirby. Yeah. We head back in for the final difficulty. I decided to go for King DDD this time. Everyone has the same stats. Head into Intense. We're above the clouds. This is a very intimidating setting. But yes, we even get turtle shells that recede. You're supposed to jump on them. You must jump on them in some cases. And yeah, it makes for a very difficult time. So what I have to do is I need to make sure that I make pretty much no mistakes. I already made a mistake there. But I also have to count on the mistakes made by my opponents. So there is that. I make it with a split second to spare. And that's it for the 100-yard hop. We then head into Bumper Crop Bump. Now this minigame, it involves fruit baskets and catching fruit. Very self-explanatory. Now, you can press the A button to bump left or right, which would cause you to bump your opponent to your opposite side. As you can see there just now. That other Adelaide did that to me. Easy is ridiculously easy, just like with the 100-yard hop. So, I bumped Waddle-Dee, and that other Adeline still got that, that fruit. But yeah, some of this fruit does look quite tasty, to be honest. Yeah, it's a good thing that I am recording this after having all of my meals. Or else I'd be having a craving right now. Anywho. I'm at 15. Nobody has even touched the double digits yet. I have this one in the bag. But this minigame does get a little interesting coming towards the end. And I love the music. I adore the music. So the music helps you realize when things are about to get a little bit more intense. It's not gonna make it it's gonna get a little bit more intense once the chorus starts to roar up, as it is about to now. Yeah, so it's a free fall of fruit that you can see now. And once all of these are down, that would be the end of the game. None of them have touched double digits still, and I am at 30. 31. And the person in second barely got the double digits. Yeah. We head back in. I decided on Kirby this time. Let's do normal. Now, I have this one in the bag as well, but I'm not used to doing this particular minigame on any difficulty other than easy. My cousins, me, my brother, we would always do it on the easy mode, and we had no AI to deal with because it was the 4 of us. So we just used that setting and we get stuck with it. So going into this, recording this, the gameplay, I was completely blind. So I was being very tentative. As you can see, I am not in the lead here, and it's only in normal. So I have to start picking up the pace. I got screwed all that one. And that is the introduction of bomb fruits. I cannot remember how many fruits you lose if you catch it, but you definitely fall on your bum and you lose a lot of your fruit. It could be the difference between you sustaining your lead and being embarrassed. Yeah. So I'm at 14. I have twice as much as both of the ones in second place. I didn't even get to finish that sentence before it was no longer true. But yes, we're at the chorus again, and all the fruit is coming down. But I once again have this one in the back. Well, King Dedede is starting to catch up quite a bit. Oh, move the pace, gotta make sure I catch as many fruits as possible. And there I am, victorious at 21 fruits. I go with Waddle-Dee this time, and it's time to go into hard. This one's rough. I failed at this a decent amount of times. These guys wait for you to target a fruit, and then they immediately go after you to bump you, guaranteeing that you can't get any fruit. Now that Kirby had his eyes on another fruit, which is the only reason why he didn't do that same strategy I mentioned, but he doesn't have to. He has 4 fruits than I do. And there's that good old strategy. 1 fruit for my trouble. If I don't do anything fast, if I don't adjust, I'm gonna lose. So I realize they are targeting me when I'm going after fruit. So I'll do it to them. That's the meta. So stop going after fruit, steal fruit. That's the difference in this mode. Once you get the hard, start screwing people. Okay, so I got that one, got lucky. Got that one too. But yeah, no, I am hightailing it out of there, and Kirby just lost all his fruit. So that makes things a little bit easier for me. I'm not 11. 3 below the person in second. And things are about to get a little more intense. We're jumping, you're getting closer to that second chorus. No, 15, Adeline's at 11. I bump Yellow Kirby out of the way. Kibi, for those initiated. And here we go. And I'm at 20. Have this one in the bag. All I had to do was adjust. Success. So knowing that, I go into Intense with that same strategy in mind. Ah, who am I kidding? I'm showing you the successful run. I lost to this a decent set of times. But I kept the strategy in mind, indeed. I wanted to make sure that what I learned last time didn't go in vain. I hightail it out of there, make sure that King Dedede loses his fruit there. Almost get decked by the next bomb, but no, too smart for that. So I'm only 1 below the person in the lead. Things are pretty frantic. It's not necessarily fruits this time, we're going after gems off the rainbow. Dreamland is a very interesting place, indeed. But yes, still 1 below the people in the lead. Now I'm the only person who's not at 3. Now, almost got decked by that bomb. It looked like purpose work. Grab that fruit. Well, gem. I couldn't stop Adeline from getting that one because the other DDD bumped me. So I tried to bump that DDD over there to that bomb, but to no avail. Gotta be wary of bombs. There are a lot of bombs in Intense. This is honestly making me think of the next time there's a grand assembly, me, my brother, and my cousins, that we do this on Intense. I would love to see how this goes. It is frantic with all the bombs and everything. Yes, I am at 9. I am actually in the lead while the second chorus is going. So, I need to keep this up. I need to keep my eyes on everybody else. Gotta make sure I'm screwing as many people out of fruits as possible. And I'm victorious with 14 compared to the person in second's 13. Go me! Go me! Now it's time for me to head into the final minigame of Kirby 64. Well, actually, for whatever reason, I forgot that I indeed did Intense. I guess I was in disbelief that I got it done. But we head into Checkerboard Chase. Checkerboard Chase is the minigame my family and I loved to play this game with. So we're on a checkerboard and we draw a line across the checkerboard by pressing A. That checkerboard then descends, and if anybody's on those blocks, they fall. We all have 5 lives. Last man standing wins. So it's pretty simple. So that's my first life lost. I'm being very careful because I'm starting to try to pick up a meta game here, because I've always been good at dealing with the computers at normal, but for the purpose of this video, I obviously want to go into Intense. Remember what I told you about Intense? Have you seen what Intense was like for the other games? So I'm trying to pick up a metagame. I'm trying to figure out what metagame I could use for this mode so I can carry it into hard and then later on into Intense. If we take too long, the outer layer of the checkerboard falls, just like that. And that's not the first time that's going to happen. It's basically the game's way of saying, yeah, hurry up. So I am at 3 lives here. King Dedede is at 2. Checkerboard outline falls. That helps me pick off his penultimate life, and then I take his last life. 3 lives to spare. Success. I accidentally went to easy again. Now let's go into normal. My meta game search continues. I still have this one in the bag, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I gotta start trying to pick out some definite strategies and things to avoid. Now, from what I can remember figuring out, I want to avoid the outermost layer as much as humanly possible. And it doesn't save me from doing that. See, if I catch myself there, and it is as a result of somebody forcing me there with an attack, the next attack is most definitely going to take me out, because I'll have nowhere to run. So that's one of the things I remember figuring out. It's a good thing that there's a decent amount of lag before checkerboard blocks fall. It saved my hide multiple times. So I take out Kibi. King Dedede then takes him out and then takes me out because of the fact there's nowhere for me to run. So I have 3 lives once again. Adeline is down to her last life. King Dedede is trying very hard, but he was a little too try hard there. Adeline takes me out, so I have 2 lives left. And I almost got her, but that's it. Success with 2 lives to spare. So we head back in. And now it's time for hard. Now, most definitely, I've never played the AI in hard. So yeah. Now I'm playing as Adeline. So there's another Adeline here and there's 2 King Dededes. So for the purposes, I'm going to say other Adeline and Pink King Dedede for ease of commentary. But yes, I just got taken out. I'm not the last one with five lives this time around. But they're dropping like flies, so that's good. King Dedede put me in a position where I was not able to capitalize on his mistake. Missed, and now I have nowhere to go. Now, the other Adeline is pretty much gone, so I don't have to worry about commentating where she's concerned. Dedede and I are trying to take each other out. Pink King Dedede's gone. And that's it. Success. So I just have 1 more difficulty to go. 1 more difficulty to go and I am home free. Checkerboard chase. 1 human. Intense. We are in space. 3 Adelines. 1 Kirby. Let's go. I've been silent for a while because I realized just what my commentary sounded like. Don't think about it too hard. Let's just keep going. Now, I am once again at 5 lives. Everybody has lost at least 1, so I'm doing pretty well so far. I had a lot of them cornered, but I only took 1 Adeline out. It cost me 1 life. So I'm here trying to be careful, trying to pick my spots, and there are more casualties. I have to be careful here. I didn't pick my spots well enough. I tried my best to take Kirby out before Kirby could take me out, but we wound up taking each other out. To take out the pink Adeline. I am on the outermost layer. I really don't want that, especially now that we are nearing a minute. I take out Kirby. So now Kirby's gone. So it's just me and the other Adeline, who only has 1 life left. So I go for broke, I go for a trade, and I win. And that's it. The only thing I want, well, there are 2 more things that I want to show off for the file menu. First is the theater. The theater has each and every cutscene in the game. So I just wanted to show off one of them, just to show that it indeed shows as it originally did. I'm going to show off my absolute favorite cutscene in the game. I remember showing this one to my mom because I just loved it so much. She didn't quite get the context, but it's still pretty fun. Yeah. Out in the desert, Kirby with his I'm always hungry mentality, yeah, he's gonna suffer here. So, of course, we get a picnic. Thanks to who else? But Adeline's ability to draw anything into existence. Potentially, it's quite a broken ability, if I'm gonna be honest. But yes. At that point in our journey, the next objective was Aqua Star. So everyone gets in, and of course Kirby has to get dragged in. My favorite cutscene. So that's the theater. Next up is the sound check, and I'll use this opportunity to just show off, well, I'm going to show off the fact that you can do music and sound effects in here, and Kirby's face changes depending on the kind of music that you're playing. And we use this opportunity to talk about the ending of this project. I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted somebody to compile these 3 games into a playlist. Nobody ever did. And I decided, well, I'm going to do it. And it has been a decent amount of time. It has been a bumpy ride, on and off. I have a regular paying job and I am still fairly new to YouTube, so that's why I have been on and off so often. But this is the penultimate video. I have something extremely special for all of you next time. I'm not going to say what it is. It's going to be very difficult. Very difficult indeed. I just want to show off one more face. Yes. That's the last facial expression Kirby has in the sound check. Such an expressive little character. Let me know what your favorite aspect of this trilogy was. Hey, you can even come back after my next video and say that that was your favorite part. But until next time, I'm Nintendo Fan 4000 of NF4 Industries, and I'm pulling on the flag. Well, I'm going to say later after this, I also want to show off that you can change the sound settings, and that is where you change the HUD settings. Later.